Jehovah's Witnesses disproven in 4 minutes. If a religious system claims to be the one true faith, its teaching must line up with Scripture, its translation must be trustworthy, and its prophetic claims must stand up under scrutiny. If it fails those tests, then sincerity does not rescue it from error. That is why Christians reject the theology of Jehovah's Witnesses. First, Jehovah's Witnesses teach that Jesus is Michael the Archangel. Their own publications say Jesus was Michael before coming to earth and after returning to heaven. But Hebrews 1 draws a hard line between the Son and the angels. Verse 5 says, "To which of the angels did God ever say, 'You are my Son'?" Then verse 6 says the angels are to worship the Son. The entire chapter is built to show Christ is categorically greater than angels, not simply the highest one among them. If Jesus is just Michael, Hebrews 1 becomes almost meaningless. Second, their New World Translation is shaped to fit their theology rather than letting the text speak. The most famous example is John 1:1. Their translation says the Word was a God. Jehovah's Witnesses defend that wording because they deny Christ's full deity. But this rendering has been rejected by the overwhelming mainstream of Christian translation tradition, and even their own interlinear shows the Greek phrase at issue. The point is not that they merely have a different style of translation. The point is that key verses are rendered in ways that support their pre-decided doctrine. When a group builds theology by altering the force of disputed texts, that is a warning sign. Third, their prophetic framework repeatedly shifts. Jehovah's Witnesses still teach that Christ began ruling invisibly in heaven in 1914. That doctrine is central to their system. But the whole scheme depends on a very specific prophetic calculation that most Christians and historians do not accept. Worse, Watchtower history includes a long trail of date-centered expectations. Their own literature tied massive end-times expectation to 1975, saying that year very well could mark the time when God executes the wicked and begins Christ's 1,000-year reign. It did not happen. Scripture gives a simple test in Deuteronomy 18. If a prophetic claim fails, that claimant is not speaking for God. A movement that repeatedly resets expectations is not demonstrating divine guidance. Fourth, Jehovah's Witness theology consistently lowers Christ while elevating the authority of the organization. Historically, the movement emerged out of the broader Adventist world, a setting already marked by failed date-setting and apocalyptic recalculations. That background matters because it helps explain why changing prophetic systems and doctrinal revisions have been built into the movement from the beginning. Truth does not need constant rescue by revision. So here is the case in 4 minutes. Jehovah's Witnesses are wrong about who Jesus is, wrong in how they handle key biblical texts, and unreliable in their prophetic claims. That is why Christians do not view Jehovah's Witnesses as simply another denomination. We see the system as theologically false, textually distorted, and historically discredited.